Welcome to Byte or Bill, the ultimate tech game show for Africa's boldest founders, freelancers, and professionals. Blending humor, storytelling, and bold trivia. Each episode challenges the guests on African tech while spotlighting their personal journeys to inspire the next generation of builders and professionals.
Byte or Bill is brought to you by Clever, and Clever allows you to open a US-based dollar account in your name to receive USD payments.
So welcome to Byte or Bill, Bukayo. I'm interested in the surname. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Yeah, I'm always struggling. I don't want to.
To what I
yeah.
So it's Bukayo Ewuoso.
Ewuoso.
Ewuoso, yes.
I've always said Ewuoso.
No, it's Ewuoso. It's
Ewuoso.
Yoruba, Abeokuta. No Abeokuta, Ijebu.
Yeah. Interesting.
Definitely.
Please introduce yourself. Let's meet you.
Yeah, my name is Bukayo Ewuoso, head of business tech at Pisi today.
Amazing stuff. Welcome to the show. We're going to talk more about your role, but yeah, let's go over the show rules first. So there are 15 questions in total, and we have 3 checkpoints. The first checkpoint is at question 5. The second one is at question 10, and the last one is question 15. Right. So if you pass question 5, it means that you've secured or you've locked in a mystery gift.
Okay.
Right. And at question 10, you lock in another one, that makes it 2. And at the last one, that makes it 3 mystery gifts. There's a twist, however, right?
Okay.
You can, if you go through question 5, for instance, and you secure a gift, and you find question 6 difficult, you can either bite or bail. So if you bail, you're saying that, oh, I want to withdraw from this game, I'm done, and I'm going to my house. You go home with your gift. But if you bite, you can either pass and we go to the next question, or if you fail it, I'll take all my gifts back.
Oh my God.
So that's how the show works.
But I get to bail at the point like 5.
No, you can bail anywhere.
Oh, okay.
But like if you bail at question 2, for instance, you still have no gift here. But so if you get to 5 or 6,
that's fine.
Yeah. Are we cool?
We're cool.
Awesome. So let's get right into it. I think this very first one is she's a very powerful woman. Funke Opeke is the founder of which West African submarine cable and internet services? This one is
Me one. I can't even work. They're in my same building I work. So.
yeah, amazing. Okay, so that is correct. And number 2, you're a marketing person, so maybe we can dance more around this, right? What psychological marketing technique involves presenting a high-priced item next to a mid-range one to make the later appear more reasonable? Yeah.
This one, it happens with the cinema, the price anchoring.
Yeah.
Price anchoring.
It's also similar to what Apple does with their...
Exactly, their product line, the plus, the pros, and then the normal.
Yeah,
definitely.
Amazing stuff. We're speeding through it. So you're currently the head of business at tech at Pisi. Can you walk us through that journey? How did you get there? Yeah.
So I started marketing. I would say like marketing found me. I found marketing when I was in school, right? 2015, 2014, thereabouts. I started there. I went for my first training, Google Digify Byte, right? So that led
Google what?
Google Digify Byte.
Okay.
Right. I think one of the maybe first or second cohorts during that time, right? So I started then. Then I started working in 2016, right? I was in school year 4. I did a 5-year course. Yeah. So I was...
Which one was it?
Social media manager and content lead, right? For Globe Fairs, much more like a travel tour.
You said you did a 5-year course?
Yeah, I did estate management.
Okay.
Never practiced in terms of going to work, right? When I finished, actually, I did have my friend with a couple of friends, right? And we managed some properties. Yeah. But I really didn't practice fully. So I really focused much more on marketing.
Yeah.
So that's the journey, right? I started that in 2016, content lead. One thing led to the other, much more my generation. I think we pick up skills based on what do you need to learn next? How do you fill in the gap? So social media then led me to content. Content led me to SEO, understanding how to write content properly for the websites. Then that led me to my next role at CHSD, Center for Housing Studies, University of Lagos. So when I finished, immediately my course advisor wanted me to work immediately. I just got an offer to work with the institute, right? Yeah. And then I became a program officer, managing the websites, selling workshops through email. I mean, it's been a journey, right? And that led me to, from there, where did I go? I go to Hot FM, right? Lagos. And they needed someone who would merge
That's a radio station.
Yeah, exactly. So they were more traditional, right? But they needed to build a digital presence.
Yeah.
So they brought me in to say, how do we build a digital presence for us and have a digital personality entirely, right? And merge those ecosystems, which I then did, create YouTube. How do we repurpose content, on YouTube as well as social? I was doing that. I was reporting to the GM directly in that situation. Then I went to content lead strategist really at NICAP, Nigerian Institute of Arbitration, and I can't remember. Just NICAP, Nigerian Institute for Arbitrators. Here I was really tasked with how do we communicate to different personas, right? Because we were speaking to one person, but I needed to distinct that generation of people. And from there I worked at, I think I've done a lot actually now that I think about it, right? I then moved to Eskimi, right? Which was much more like a global company for me at that point, right? I entered as a digital account
South
manager.
African, yeah?
No, it's global company. It's Lithuanian, it's European. Yeah. So I entered as a digital account manager, moved from to key account manager for Western Central Africa to senior account manager for Western Central Africa. Then I moved to global products marketing manager for like 130 markets globally, so all the regions. Which then from there I moved to where I am today, Pisi. I did that for like I think 4 years, close to 4 years, right? And then I'm at Pisi now, which they just brought me to say we want to start as an ad tech platform. So it was like the advertising tech was nothing when I came in, right? And so we started a new business, and I think we've done a pretty good job so far.
You won an award recently.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like about PC ad tech arm, right? The advertising technology arm is about 19 months old, thereabouts. Yeah, exactly. Started in January 2024. The team is growing. We're expanding. We've done things in Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, and some other regions, and also work with top people in the country.
So you've moved around a bit, right? I mean, how do you know when to move and where to go?
So I'm a religious guy.
Right.
So let me be, I'm a very religious guy, right? I believe in clarity, purpose, and direction, right? I can tell you that, right? And I think another key thing in my career, which I should mention, is DigiClan, right? Community, marketing community.
DigiClan.
Yeah, exactly. DigiClan was major for my career, right? Because I was able to volunteer, I was able to meet people who have done, and then you could share mind, get knowledge, understanding, and they met people which then allowed you to get referrals. But the funniest thing in terms of how have I been able to manage that, I don't know how God does it. When I apply for a job, I don't get a job. So I've never applied for a job and get it. So anytime I want to go out of my own way, it never happens. I thank God for that, because I mean, if it happens, I will probably be out in error, to be honest. But I think the first thing is really to understand that first, is this the right time, and I pray about it. And then the second thing is at times there's also inward witness. If you want to look at it from a logical point of view, it's once you keep doing something and it gets easy, right? At that point, I usually say you ask yourself 2 questions. You are so good at your job where it's very easy. You can coast through things, like you can do things while you're sleeping.
Subconsciously.
You're not growing.
Yeah.
That's the point where I say you're not growing. So you need to ask yourself 2 questions, right? Which is what happened with me with the roles. For example, right? Is this something I can do where I'm currently out? Like, what are the gaps? What are the things that people are not feeling? Where are the opportunities that I can pick up and enhance the company, right? That's the first question. The second question is, if there are none of that, or it doesn't fit for you, or the next thing in terms of your career trajectory and your projection, then you can start to look outside. Those are really the 2
indicators,
things. Yeah. So I pray about it, and then I look at those indicators as well, because my switch to global product marketing really was, I wanted the next thing, right? I wouldn't say my job was easy, but I'd done it a lot, and it was really much more comfortable for me. And I knew I wasn't growing, right? Because I can't do that in my sleeping coat, right? So I needed to look for that, because one of the things that drove me into that role was I wanted to understand the intersection of business, growth, sales, and marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes one a head of business? How does one even get that role?
So, to have an understanding of head of business, right? You have to be a generalist, but still have good understanding of different parts of the movement of the business, right? You definitely have to have understanding of the core, which is very crucial. But you also need to be a business person, right? So I think I mentioned to you that I moved to Eskimi, right? One of the key things that made me move was I understood marketing, but I wanted to understand and learn the business side of things.
Right.
And the sales part of things. So as a role as a digital account manager, I needed to do marketing proposals, strategies, right, for brands. And this was like across the continent and across different verticals. So from tech to FMCGs to fintechs to banks and all of that. But also manage the business in terms of the digital spends of those people. How do you propose to them? How do you sell to them? If they're currently your clients, how do you expand them in terms of upselling and cross-selling? So I needed to think as a business person from that point of view and learn sales, right? And then I also needed to pitch the proposals. And I'm not saying agency pitch now. I'm talking about one-on-one pitching. Then understand the business margin. What can we do? How do you negotiate? When it comes to negotiation, you need to negotiate, okay, do I do I reduce my short-term gains to a long-term gain? Right? So those knowledge really I would say compounded for me, right? Because it's really not one thing.
Yeah.
It's compounding on knowledge over time, right? So I was able to understand selling. I was able to present, right? We did workshops. So I do workshops. We do webinars. I'm leading those webinars. I'm planning the entire workshop, for the company. People are coming from abroad and all of that. So those things added up to lead me to become a head of business. But I would also say one of the key things is just jump. At times, just jump.
Right.
To be honest, like take a leap. I tell people to apply for something that you are about 70 to 80% good at. Qualified, right? Don't go for 100% because again, what are you learning? What are you stretching?
Right. True.
Exactly. So for you to be a head of business, you need to have core of that business, understanding of that business, right?
And it's different for each.
It's different from each business, exactly. Then you need to have business understanding of things to say, okay, how do we make money from this? And what's driving revenue? Because that's what keeps me awake all through the night, right? What drives revenue? Not the tactical daily things that are good to have, but really, how do you report to like C-levels and the boards or things like that?
So you mentioned DigiClan as one of the pivotal moments when you joined, right? What are some other maybe communities or books or resources that sort of shaped how you go through your day-to-day?
So in terms of my day-to-day now, I think the core thing is, one of the key things, also the other communities like DMM. So it's now AdMap, if I'm not mistaken. DMM. Digital Marketing Meetup, right? Yeah. The association is now AdMap for that. That was also very key, right? Because you're then able to meet people and share an understanding and also get job opportunities, but also ask questions and they can be answered. I listen to podcasts a lot.
Which ones?
Right? When I'm driving.
Which ones?
When I drive to work at company, I listen to Dario of CEO.
Oh.
Yeah, I listen to Dario.
What's his name again?
The funniest part, I don't even know the top of my head. But I listen to him a lot. And the reason is because it helps me to learn like the business side of things, right? Strategy, what mistakes have people made. A lot of times we listen to successes of people, but I feel like we have a lot more to learn at people's mistakes, because I learn how to not do something. I don't need to make the same mistakes. So I listen to podcasts when I'm driving. I read emails like this guy, Neil, Demand. This Demand. I'm trying to remember his name. His name is Neil or Leo. Demand Cove. Yeah, I'm trying. No, not Neil Patel. Demand Cove. They have a newsletter. Okay. So I read that newsletter. I also read a friend's one. You know him probably, Dinjo.
Oh yeah. So I did a course with Trefford.
Yes.
I think it was one of the facilitators. Yeah, that's like when I wanted to like do some things around product marketing. So I moved to product marketing at the company I was at that time. So I just needed to like upskill, like sharp. Yeah. So I took a course and it was very helpful. I think the part of the Trefford course that was really, really helpful for me was the onboarding class. Because we're building a digital product and onboarding was a key feature of that. It would probably make or man the product, and I found that really helpful. And continue please.
Yeah, so I read Grove's case studies. He writes that, which is really good because it's very, very detailed, and you can learn strategies and tactical things from that. I read books, right? I try to read books now because before you know, 24 hours is gone at times. Exactly. So I try to read books. As well, my wife, I watch a lot of videos because I consume knowledge better in video, right? So I can watch 2 hours video, 1 hour video, right? On book, I need to sit down, focus, block everything, and just
and even podcast you can drive and
podcast I can drive, watching plates and back. You see, that one can be in between activities, right?
Yeah.
But book, I need to see that. And in this our generation of short attention span, you need to focus. Your mind will wander like focus on the road
back.
But I try to do that.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe one other question, maybe an addition. I found business wars and business movers.
So I should have added that.
Yeah.
But I've practically listened to all business wars.
Right.
All the episodes.
Yeah.
And this was like years ago.
Yeah.
Now, business wars, I think, is paid, if I'm not mistaken.
So they have like the paid one on their Wondery app, but like they still release some.
I listened to business when it was free. Everything. I listened to everything. Like that was a couple of years ago. It was free on Apple Podcast.
Yeah.
So you could listen to it. So I've listened to everything.
Yeah.
So I can't listen to
right.
all the Boeing and the Airbus, the chocolates, the Pepsi and Coca-Cola.
I think we need stuff like that for Nigerian brands or maybe African brands, because it's good to have like background story. There's not a lot of background story into some of this amazing stuff that a lot of people are building, and even some of the war stories. There's a lot of war going on in the background. Like we need some of those tea. But yeah, let's go back to our question. We spent a lot of time.
I did some things about that too, which is great, right? Telling those stories and telling what people are building, and that is great, right? And also putting founders out there.
Yeah.
As well. So
Thank you so much. So we're at question 3. I thought we'd be at yeah. So in what year did Africa's first television station, Western Nigerian Television, begin broadcasting from Ibadan, Nigeria?
This is I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
I think it was 9 years after independence, if I'm not mistaken. 1969. That's my final answer.
So at this point, if you miss the question,
I go with nothing, right?
Nothing. Yeah.
I'm like,
do you want to take some time to think about it?
Let me see.
Let's talk about AI. You wrote an article on LinkedIn sharing how AI is reshaping a lot of things, especially in the marketing and advertising industry. Can you speak more on that?
Yeah, I think AI is here to stay. To be honest, right? We're fighting it. You're like that guy is fighting the internet in the past. Yeah. Fighting Motorola. Using that phone and iPhone touchscreen. I think if we look at it concentrating on marketing and advertising, right? I think it's going to do a lot of things much more faster. If there's any word like much more faster, to be honest, right? But to do things faster, to be honest, right? Execution is going to be faster for a lot of things, right? What would happen is it's going to aid people and in different strata, right? I'll start with creative. I think the article was really on creative in this situation. It's for media buyers, for example, rather than having to think of 3, 4, 5 angles of the product, right? You can take the value proposition of the product and then look at the key pain points, right? Why your personas, most of the time we look at personas, right? But you can just look at use cases. 5 use cases. How do I test and experiment this? You have like 5 copies or 6 copies fast, right? To generate that. You typically, if you're in marketing agency, you wait for the copywriter to write that and it gets to you, or you, the media buyer, just come up with that yourself, right? That's 1. 2, creative development, which is very big for me. Yeah. I'll tell you, I did something last week. Sharp. The client was going to go to their designer, I'm like, don't worry.
We'll do this.
Those gave me an answer. I was able to deal with Ideogram and GPT 4.0. And we had creatives in like 30 minutes to 1 hour. So to make things faster, right, you can create different angles for your product or for your service. AI generation is faster. Ideogram is really good. I really think people should. I think it's not spoken about a lot. People speak about Gemini and
GPT
for image generation.
I don't think I've used.
You should try it. It's so realistic and so good.
Interesting.
Ideogram, right?
It's paid, yeah?
It's paid, but it's free. I think you get about 8 credits every 4 days. So that allows you to generate about 8 images.
Yeah, and then you can now decide if you want to.
And you can decide to, if you want to pay for that. So I think it's going to enhance creative development faster, right? But what also happens is that doesn't mean, art directors or product designers and things like that lose their job. It just means that you need to be good at what you do, right? So what will become much more high value wouldn't be execution or speed of exactly the creativity and the thinking, right? How do you think and how do you guide that into execution, right? So you can't say like it's going to take 1 week or 2 weeks to get things done. We have more time.
You can iterate
to
faster.
think. Exactly. You can iterate faster when it comes to creative and product development. So product design, graphics design, output is faster.
Yeah.
What will set you apart is your creativity, your innovation, and how you're able to solve problems through creative thinking, right? From a marketing point of view, right, it's automations, right? So, for example, at work, we do a couple of things in terms of scripts on ads, so the Google ads and the Meta ads. We're immediately able to use AI to get the best placements, publishers, exclude the bad ones, and that's automated with the scripts. For example, for conversion tracking, we connect the spreadsheet to like a workflow easily. So it picks the conversion data from the click ID and it sends to Google Ads and importation. Without everybody has to be doing that, right? And my campaign manager can focus on something that's much more efficient for them per time. So I think it's not the should I use it? It's not. It's how are you
jump on the
using
train?
it? You have to jump on the train. To be honest, right? That's creative. That's automation in terms of workflow automation. I think another angle would also be when it comes to marketing and advertising is how do we then create original content, right? It's going to be so valuable, in my opinion, right? Because AI can do a lot of things right now, but original content is now going to be
scarce,
very scarce and high value, right? You know, paintings will be quite important. Digital painters will be really great in this economy, and you can say, okay, this was done by a human being and not exactly. It's human touch.
It's like how this big luxury brand and say that we
so it's just shifts.
Yeah.
I mean, we're seeing it now, but it will shift. I tell people value would always remain, right? It will only shift.
Yeah.
To that point, the question is, how are you positioning for that? That's the next thing to think about.
I don't know if this is something we can touch on. Like, because there's AI now, people can produce whatever kind of content they want to produce, and that might lead to some sort of misinformation, disinformation, and spreading all sorts. How are you thinking around that? What would you suggest?
So I think it's almost normal when it comes to new technology. If you check it, or even evolution, steam engine, when oil was found, when coal was found, the internet age, there's always a first, even social media, right? Just look at normal social media. When Meta came, when Facebook just started, when Tumblr started, and a lot of things. It will happen. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing, but I don't think because of that we shouldn't explore things. I just think that we would learn as we are going through. We would just learn, right? So I see that, what's it called? Is it Grok? You can't ask certain things again. Before you could ask like very nasty things with Grok, but now you can ask it to create an image of a celebrity or something to do that, right? Because why do you want to do that? Why did you upload a picture of something? So I think it's going to get better with time. There's going to be a lot of problems, to be honest. It's going to be a lot of problems.
At some point, self-regulates.
But exactly. But at some point, self-regulation will come in, but also regulators from different governments would also come in. But if there's anything I believe in, is the human capacity to innovate. That's something I believe in. So I'm not going to say because of those risks, I would say, let's step on the pedal and not do anything. I would say, no, let's make sure that there's regulatory conversation ongoing, so we put things in check, right? So you don't have fake news, you don't have, how do you even know what's real against what? Because it's becoming 10 times harder.
So when I scroll through TikTok these days, I have to now pay attention to maybe the hands or like the background. Is it realistic?
But they are good now.
Yeah,
they are so good. You can't use the hand thing again.
Yeah, but some of them are still wiggly. There was one that, so there was a reporter in the front, and then the woman was up. She was using her hand to like pack corn, and then she jumped from the rooftop, and then she entered the ground. That was how I was able to know. But like they are so good now, to be honest, that if you don't pay close attention. There was another one that this reporter, she was speaking, and then she was like, another one done.
Yeah, I saw that one. I saw that. My wife showed me that one.
Yes, it's crazy.
The way I could tell that one was, my wife said to me, she was speaking, and then somebody entered the ground. I'm like, how's this not? But all of a sudden, it was an umbrella. I'm like, where did that umbrella come from, right?
It's crazy. So maybe it's, for now, those little mistakes are we're able to like, but for maybe for an average person, they might not be able to like point it out because it's not very obvious. But like for tech savvy people, they're still able to say, oh, this is not real. But at some point, they'll probably catch up that even you can't tell with your ordinary eye. And maybe there'll now be products that can also now counter to say, okay, this is 100% AI, or this is 80% AI, or a mixture of both.
Yeah, I think those projects are not good for now, to be honest, because I've seen people write and then it's the same thing and they say it's 80%, 90%. Yeah, I'm like, no, like person is just a good writer. It's not. It's not AI.
Yeah.
But I also seen Google Gemini.
Sacks,
exactly.
What was that word again?
Gemini AI image generation. I think it puts AI now at the bottom. If you generate an image, it puts generated by AI or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's also one of the ways.
So like I said, I trust human beings that we would figure it out.
Yeah.
But we can't stop it, man.
Yeah. You're a married man and you're married to a very powerful woman. How do you manage the dynamics? Because, I mean, a lot of people say they want accomplished, brilliant, amazing woman, but like oftentimes there's ego clashes, there's, I'm the head of the house. And also traditional expectations. You're supposed to be in the kitchen. How do you manage that?
So I think the first thing, because I get this question surprised quite frequently. I've seen someone that approached me and said like, thank you for allowing your wife fly and do this for what you do. You should. I'm like, I get it, right?
Yeah.
It's a two-sided thing, because sometimes I'm like, I get it, but I also look at the reality, like there are some men, right, that don't know better, right, as well. So it is actually a reality of that, and I will not try to dismiss that as well. But I say it's still foreign to me when people say this, right? But I think the real thing is, to me, it's just a human being. Like, yes, she's my wife, right, but it's a partnership. I think that's the first thing, right?
Yeah.
It's a partnership. I'm not better
than her.
Or her, exactly, than her. And this is someone that has gone to school. Like, there's an illustration I usually do a lot of times. I'm like, when you have a daughter, how do you want your daughter to live when she marries? Then why don't you just treat your wife like that if you think like that? Because you sent her to school, she's done this, so you want to suppress her goals. I'm like, no, nobody suppressed my goal. John, that's one. One thing is, second thing is, the benefit of your partner flying, and this is not even wife now, but in the context of the benefit of your partner flying, the benefit for you as a family, like an entire household. There's leverage here, and you bring two leverages together. Your kids are going to fly. That's like a lot of privilege and a lot of leverage for them. That's how I see things, right? And I see it as a human being, right? Do what you want to do. Yes, you have to unlearn a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And maybe because I learned them a little bit earlier, right? So I had that understanding before I got into marriage. And I worked at, what's it called? Love, dating, and marriage. My wife used to say that a lot, right? I worked at LDM with Pastor Kingsley. And I needed to generate content on that. So I had access to a lot of content because of work, right? Books, audios, seminars. So I also had like knowledge impact from that part of things, right? So I think think about the person. Like the person is the person first. Yes, there's wife and societal this thing, right? That's the first. The second is partnership, right? It's not I'm better than the other person. Third is leverage. The person is bringing 100 to the table, you're bringing 100. That's like 200. A whole lot. Exactly. Right? Why do you want to do 90 alone and then not let the person do? I'm like, then there's no permission. It's much more like an agreement, right? It's not a permission thing, it's a discussion. It's a collaboration, it's a negotiation. You have to negotiate with your partner has to negotiate with you and find how it will work for your own peculiar, right? And there will be a lot of things that you have to learn. And also, like, you guys are coming from two different backgrounds. Don't expect, like, when you marry 6 months, it's going to be exactly how you have it in your head, mind, right? Yeah. It's going to be a lot of unlearning and relearning and people adapting to the realities of both of your backgrounds and your expectations and your dreams, right? The person had a dream before they met you and they want to fulfill that. You had yours and you want to fulfill that, right? So you negotiate of how do we achieve this together without compromising what we currently do have. So you do what you want. So I don't think ego, right? So if you read the book, Ego is an Enemy, right? I think that also helps, right, a lot, right? But when I read the book recently, our group CEO gave us the book to read. I'm like, okay, so I've been doing a couple of things from this book and I didn't even know, right? It helps to put things down. Then the core, which is the fundamental one, is the Bible, right? Which is the hardest thing to me. When I see men saying that I'm the leader of their house, do you know the responsibility that the Bible gave you for that? To say, you love your wife like Christ loved the church. This guy died for the church. Like,
Right.
like I don't think anything goes higher than that, right? So if that's your compass, right, I have an understanding that you need to negotiate and you need to figure things out together. Like, there's no second choice, right? And you need to love this person, even when things are tough, in quotes, right? It makes things a little bit easier. I think that's the word to use. Like, it doesn't make things easy, it just makes things a little bit easier because you have the understanding that you figure it out together and you guys can negotiate your way through and find a middle ground.
Amazing.
Thank
you so much. That's very in the church world. It's very profound. So let's go back to our question.
Yes, that's true.
We went for 1969. Are you locking that in?
Let me think again before I lock that in.
Okay.
I knew it was the first, like it said here, the first television station, Western WNTV. My father used to talk about it, to be honest, right? Growing up. I'm trying to remember the year. Let me lock it in. Go home or Bill or
Byte or Bill.
Byte or Bill.
So you are biting 19.
You should give us like what's it called? You should give us a choice, like call a friend, 50-50. You know,
people
options.
In the studio, can you help me?
It should be 50-50 or take out 2 incorrect answers.
Me, I don't want to give you my gift. Yeah, but the actual answer is actually 1959.
59. So a year before, not 9 years after.
Yeah, but I mean, you've
I almost got to
amazing nuggets for us.
First listing.
Yeah, you've shared that. I think I've learned a lot today, right? And I think coming from like the relationship angle is how to think of it as collaboration. Like you are a unit. It's not a scale. You're not trying to like balance everything. In some cases, in some families rather, it might be that, because your work is so high value, maybe the wife is bringing 200% and maybe 80% and you're bringing 20%, but you're still able to find a way to make it whole and not say because, you're the one that is bringing all the money and then you're just going to, you're still thinking of yourself as a unit, as a collaborating partner. I think that's something that I'm going to take home with me.
If I add to that, right, I think one of the also things, again, which is why I use the word leverage instead of money.
Yeah.
Is that most of the time we have conversations about this in monetary perspective to say this person is bringing 80% of the money. But there's other like leverage, there's value, there's network, there's connection, there's doors.
Yeah.
Like there are doors that my wife can open that I cannot open based on her experience and things she's done. Like actual doors, right? And it's not about money.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So money is good, but there's also other benefits.
Yeah.
There's network, there's leverage, there's people.
Yeah.
You need to think wide, right?
Yeah.
And there's also the part of, typically, right, people look at life in one stretch.
Yeah.
But life is in different parts, right? So you'll be surprised that somebody might be earning this and then something happens, this person is earning this. If you've treated this person poor at that point, if something happens to you like this, it's just normal that you are going to reap what you sow, in quotes, right? So it's really about thinking about it in leverage and different points of things and value and not just money, because money is important, right? But
there are also other things, and I think the other part, which is, I used to do it a lot, which is something, but I don't actively do it now, which is listening to podcasts when I'm doing like things that don't require me to actively think or things I can do. But you speaking about it now just reminded me that it's something that I need to go back to and start doing actively, because there are lots of knowledge to be consumed and stuff, and doing the kind of things that I do, which is I always like give out a lot, there's also the need to also take in as much as I can. That's also really profound, and I want to say a very big thank you to our sponsors that made this possible. Clever Bank. So basically, Clever allows you to open US accounts. So if you're a freelancer, for instance, or you're a business and you need to get money from the abroad, say US, you can use Clever to create a US account as a non-US citizen, maybe as an African, Nigerian, Ghanaian, whatever. And then you can just receive your money with Clever Bank. So they're doing amazingly well. And
that's good.
Yeah, they're doing amazingly well. And I've come to the end of the show. And maybe next time you come, You go, take it. Thank you so much
Thank you so
for
much.
honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much for your time, man.